Aloha Hawaii, this is Poka Lainui and you are listening to Hawaiian Potpourri. Welcome back to the program. We have been talking about the recent visit of the Dalai Lama, or at least two of us have been talking about it. And if you'd like to call and share an opinion, you are welcome to call. The question was, what was the essential message of the Dalai Lama, and was his visit merely overproduced, and what did you learn about his visit, and what did you come ahead with, I guess? Yeah. Telephone number here is 524-1080. Let's go to our caller. Aloha caller, welcome to the program.
Good afternoon, Poka.
Yes, aloha.
Do you get that annoying feedback?
Yeah.
You do. All right, I'll try to turn it off, but it means remember, I can't hear you.
All right, I'll try to speak loudly.
Don't take it as a personal insult. I felt bad.
Maybe it's a psychological closing out of my response to you.
Well, you're so far away that I really have to strain to hear you.
Okay.
I'll try.
All right.
Let me see. Oh, I was just going to respond to your comments about the recent visit of the Dalai Lama.
Mm-hmm.
I forget. But you're dealing with celebrity, and these are people like the Pope that have gained prominence in their belief system, which we all respect and all that, but still, that's what he's gliding around on, is celebrity. They get their fare paid, and who wouldn't do that if they had that kind of ability or had come through that system? I'm not criticizing them for that, but that's really what it is. And that's because he has a big name, he gets all this publicity as movie stars do. And as for you, Poka, you're a worker. And you know what that means. There's no celebrity in a worker. You do it because your love for the work, which makes you an amateur. The other a professional.
I don't know if you're insulting me or you're praising me, but I'll take it as a praise.
An amateur means love.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
An amateur.
It's related to the word love, amore. So don't take that. No, that was a compliment.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. I should have thought more about it. But I've always thought of amateur as being someone who does it because they love it.
Yeah.
So that's what we are. We're the workers. So we don't expect anything out of it except love for what we're doing, and that certainly is obvious in your approach. Now, I don't want to make you a celebrity at all.
Thank you. All right. Thank you very much for your call. If you would like to call, our telephone number here is 524-1080. Let's go to our next caller. Aloha caller, welcome to the program.
Good afternoon, Mr. Laino.
Yes.
I'm on the radio again.
Yes.
I read in the paper the Dalai Lama is, I can't really pronounce, is an Indian word, Botswana sage. In other words, he's a sage of compassion.
Okay.
And so that's what he represents. He's the reincarnation of what compassion is in a guru, you could say. And he said in the paper, from what I read, that he's 70-something years, and he told about the students, this is the 21st century, and life will continue on into the future. But then I'm a Christian. I question, there's been so many earthquakes, volcanoes, uprising in government. But then I also study civilization, that we had 2 world wars, and it was so much atrocities that yet life still continued. Even we had millions of people killed, tortured, and during that time they had earthquakes and famine. So what we got to say, I mean, for me, myself, I'm questioning, is God's kingdom coming? But then all the ethical races around the world, me being a local boy, and someone maybe from Europe seeing the hula, and we all appreciate the hula. Wherever you go around the world, we all appreciate the hula. So under God's kingdom, will there be hula? Will there be sashimi? and things like that. And so I question: is there going to really be a little kingdom of God on earth?
Yeah.
Or will it be a restructuring of civilization where there would be catastrophes and then weeding out a small group of remnants of civilization remaining?
So what you're saying is that you really don't know. Is that what you're saying? And so you're asking these questions continuously.
Well, the Bible, I'm a Christian, so God said there, I don't know how Revelation is applied, Mr. Lainui. Is it over the whole earth or among members of God's congregation, the kingdom of the congregations and the churches in the world? Or is it the whole earth as a whole? I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I studied civilization, and it could possibly continue.
Yeah, is it not the case that, different people reading the same text, or the same Bible, or the same book or chapter in the Bible, can come out with different conclusions? And what you're saying is that you cannot be sure that one conclusion or another conclusion is right or wrong, and it's just that you have this questioning about what does this heaven or this afterlife really mean. Isn't that what you're saying?
I'm questioning that because there are many different interpretations of Revelation.
Yeah.
And it seems like all the signs Jesus Christ gave of the last days, Jesus Christ gave, is being fulfilled in our time. And
we have dared to ask these questions of the Dalai Lama, who seems to be the pinnacle of one particular religious belief system. That's a Tibetan Buddhism. Are you willing to raise the same questions? It seems that you are, because in your call you are saying. And so I have these questions about what is heaven, and what is the coming of the kingdom, or is it getting closer, or is it coming already here? Do you have a hesitation to ask these questions against concepts that are supposed to be so widely accepted that generally we're not supposed to ask, and if we do, we are seen as being part of the unfaithful?
Well, I'm not unfaithful, but the thing is...
but others may accuse you of being...
I'm not unfaithful,
okay.
But the thing I worry about is what is sacred, and who acquired the divine nature in moral character and activity they do in the community, and but then I'm a local boy. If Hawaii becomes the worst place in the world to live, am I to leave the islands? Because I raised here all my life and under the Hawaiians, and I have family who, my kids and my grandkids are part Hawaiians, and I need to make a stand. But then Jesus Christ said that when you see the abomination standing in the holy place, to leave and flee. I'm not saying that's happening now in Hawaii, but well, it's something to question about the coming of Christ. The second coming of Christ.
Yeah.
And then another thing, ethical cultures, will they exist under the kingdom of God? Because there's hundreds of different ethical cultures. And if they're going to exist, then we're going to say politically, will the political structure exist? If the ethical culture is going to exist, or just
would you need a
diverse section of the culture exists?
The communists say no need political systems, because if you have a strong ethical culture, then people are automatically caring for one another, to each his need, each from his ability to produce. which is not a bad ethical culture.
I mean, ethnic culture, ethnic.
Oh, ethnic culture.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think because ethnicity, first of all, is merely a creation of mankind, yeah? And it's a creation which elevates differences rather than commonality. Oh, look, their eyes, the most slanted, and one slanted up and the other slanted down. And look how they speak, and the body structures, this and that. That's all creating realities by agreement. That you agree with me that, look, this guy look different from us, and look at the color of his skin.
That's not too important.
Well, yeah, it's not, but that's what ethnicity is essentially, as opposed to reality in fact. That, hey, this guy is just as human as we are. That's a reality in fact. But so what we do is we create realities by agreements, by definitions, and then we change it, and then we begin to parcel people out from the differences rather than including people from their commonality, from their similarities. Now that's where ethnicity. So in the heaven that you talk about in some future time, I think the general belief is that it's big enough to accept people of many, many different, quote, ethnicities, because heaven will see them all as the human product of the creativity of God. My question to you is, why is it that heaven is not already here, as well as hell?
Why?
And that it's up to us to express our heavenness or hellness in our daily activities and how we respond to and respect each particular incident. You know, sometimes some people say, for me, I carry my heaven and I carry my hell with me, and what I make of it is what it becomes, or what I see. Heaven and hell is not really a separate existence. It comes in a whole package. Just like when you have a present, what's inside you enjoy, but you still have to deal with all the rubbish, yeah?
Well, Mr. Lainu, yes. For me, the norm is I was raised in the 50s and 60s and 70s.
Yeah, so...
and what the mass media portray is very depraved and detestable to me, and I don't appreciate it, and it's not gentleman or lady. The norm for gentlemen and ladies doesn't apply to what's shown on the TV screen and in the movies.
Okay.
That's all I got to say.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for calling and being willing to share your concerns, your doubts, your questions, and giving us fodder for our continuing conversation. Again, thank you for your telephone call.
Thank you for letting me talk to you, Mr. Lainu.
You're welcome. Aloha.
Aloha.
And if you would like to call and share your thoughts, our telephone number here is 524-1080. You know, I'm looking at this newspaper, page B4, last week. No, it's Saturday, the 7th of April, with a picture of the Dalai Lama and another monk out of the Tibetan Buddhist tradition. The first caller who raised or who responded to the question that I had asked had tried to give some context to the visit of the Dalai Lama, and Pat Gee, who writes for the Star Advertiser, summarized it in the first two paragraphs that she wrote. She says, having a spiritual icon like the Dalai Lama shine a spotlight on a new community peace-building event is like having a rock star in the islands, said Kevin Taketa, President and CEO of the Hawaii Community Foundation. So what of that one-sentence paragraph, what does it leave you with? Rock star Dalai Lama. It leaves me with that impression. Okay, so let's read further. For all of us at the foundation, it's an extraordinary honor for us to fashion and launch the Pillars of Peace and to have His Holiness for the inaugural event, Taketa said. We're really excited. It's like the Beatles are coming to town. We think it will be a remarkable thing for the people of Hawaii. Does it really make much sense. Where's the, what we call a EO? Where's the essence of what Taketo would like to get to, and it doesn't appear he's getting to it. You know, if the Beatles, and I don't remember it because I never tracked it, if the Beatles came to town, would it be a remarkable thing for the people of Hawaii? I don't think so. They are a good group of singers, but they are certainly not sacred, and so I don't know about the wisdom of comparing the Dalai Lama to the Beatles coming to town or to a rock star. Okay, so the first two paragraphs doesn't really strike me as all that great, but at least we know that they want to start this Pillars of Peace movement. The HCF, the Hawaii Community Foundation, was close to selling out 18,000 tickets to two appearances, that's April 14, 15, for Tenzin Gyatso, the 14th Dalai Lama of Tibet, and the 1989 Nobel Peace Prize winner. Okay. Again, it doesn't tell you very much other than trying to make him a rock star with 18,000 tickets sold. Since his exile to India in 1959, the man who describes himself as a simple Buddhist monk has worked for the liberation of his country from Chinese oppression and has become a universal symbol of peace, compassion, and religious harmony, according to his website, www.dalailama.com. Now, this is according to his website, so it's sort of self-promotional coming out of his website. You know, the Chinese would have a different opinion of this guy, but they don't have a website. I don't think so. And they got all bent out of shape when, who was that? Barack Obama gave the Dalai Lama an audience. Or was it vice versa, although it was the Dalai Lama who came to Washington, D.C., But you see, the problem was he also had to come through the back door because the Chinese was watching the front door, the Chinese government. And then when they heard that he had an audience with, or the Dalai Lama had an audience with Barack Obama, the Chinese were very upset and said there were going to be repercussions for having done that. Okay, during his visit, he will also meet privately with Native Hawaiian community leaders and others and visit cultural sites. But his itinerary will not be made public for security reasons. What else? What substance do they have about him? Dalai Lama is appearing at the personal invitation of global philanthropist Pierre and Pam Omidyar. They established a 50 million Omidyar Ohana Fund in 2009 to launch its initiatives such as the upcoming talks on Pillars of Peace, Hawaii, building peace on a foundation of aloha. Okay, I'm going to stop there because I have something else that I want to play for you folks. And this is an announcement. It'll take a minute, but it deals with the same idea. And this is the Voyage of Aloha that does not promote the Dalai Lama coming, but it's on similar grounds. But it's incorporating the, what was his name? Campbell, Joseph Campbell. I was thinking of James Campbell. That's where I had a meeting with his folks today at the James Campbell building at, where is that? Kapolei. But it's a Joseph Campbell Foundation along with some other local folks who are asking ourselves, is there the hero's journey or a new hero's journey that needs to continue? Here, listen to this advertisement or announcement.
For over 75 years, science has confirmed what the wisdom of all societies has said for millennium. Not only are we separate material beings, we're totally connected by and through a universal energy. If you believe the time has come to begin to live from the reality of our connectedness instead of separateness, please join with the Voyage of Aloha community, the Joseph Campbell Foundation, the World Business Academy, and many other supporting organizations over this Memorial Day weekend. That's May 25th to 30th, 2012, for Ho'omaka'i, a Voyage of Aloha honoring the work of Joseph Campbell, the conference at the Pagoda Hotel in Honolulu, Hawaii, and streamed live worldwide. I'm Roger Epstein, and invite you to join with kindred spirits to map your own hero's journey to live the rest of your life in connection and service. Find out more at www.voyageofaloha.com.
So that's Roger Epstein. Roger is a local attorney of Jewish background, I believe out in New York. And he's been in Hawaii for over 40 years and been active as an attorney here. But what do you think about that and the attempt by these various organizations? Joseph Campbell Foundation. Joseph Campbell actually lived in Hawaii and had married a woman from Hawaii, and had an apartment in Waikiki. And when he died, he was in that apartment. So he had a relationship to Hawaii and saw Hawaii as a very special place. Now, what they are taking a look at is how can we incorporate the studies of Joseph Campbell with the development of sharing ideas about this attitude of peace, the attitude of aloha, and using Hawaii as a foundation from which these ideas can be expressed. Well, anyway, I just thought I'd bring that into the conversation, and I will be playing that announcement a number of times. But you can take a look at that and see how it comports with either the Dalai Lama, and they, from the article here, they intend to bring in other people, including Bishop Desmond Tutu of South Africa and former President Jimmy Carter. Blah, blah, blah. Jimmy Carter. Okay. Anyway, I'm looking at the time. It's about a minute and 15 seconds before the news. So let's get to some music.
Kaulana nā pua o Hawaii Kupa'a mahope o ka aina Iki mai ka elele o ka loko ino Pala pala anunu me ka pāka